In Italy, speed is more than motion. It's identity, born from rivalry, sculpted from pride. One man challenged a legend, and in doing so, created one of his own. This was not just another car. It was the birth of the supercar. The world would remember its name, Miura. Entire history of Lamborghini. Episode 1. The Miura, the first mid-engine supercar. In the early 1960s, Lamborghini was a newcomer among giants. A tractor maker daring to challenge Enzo Ferrari. But in a small corner of Sant'Agata Bolognese, a team of young engineers, Dallara, Stanzani, and Wallace, envisioned something unthinkable. A V12 engine mounted behind the driver, built not for racing, but for the road. This wasn't imitation. This was revolution. A chassis so advanced it turned every convention inside out. Marcello Gandini, a 27-year-old designer at Bertone, gave it form, a shape both sensual and aggressive. Long, low, impossibly sleek. It looked fast, even when standing still. When the prototype debuted at the 1966 Geneva Motor Show, the crowd fell silent, then erupted. The world had never seen a car like it, not even Ferrari. The Miura wasn't just beautiful, it was the birth of the modern supercar. The Miura was more than beautiful, it was engineering art. Beneath that curving body, an entirely new layout took shape. A 3.9-litre V12 turned sideways and mounted behind the driver, an idea borrowed from racing, yet built for the street. Engine and transmission shared a single aluminum casting, compact, radical. It kept weight centered, perfectly balanced for high-speed stability. The gearbox sat beneath the crankshaft, a masterpiece of space saving that even Ferrari hadn't dared attempt. Each cylinder bank fed by 6 Weber twin-choke carburetors, precision-tuned, polished to mirror shine, breathing life into every revolution. From the valve covers engraved with Lamborghini's name to the handmade crankshaft running on 7 main bearings, it was as much sculpture as it was machinery. Early models used a shared oil system between the gearbox and the engine, elegant in theory, troublesome in practice. The later SV separated the fluids, refining what the pioneers had imagined. Dry sump lubrication, ZF 5-speed gearbox, independent suspension at all 4 corners, and vented discs capable of stopping 1,300 kilograms of Italian fury. On the test bench, the V12 sang to 7,700 revolutions per minute, a metallic symphony of cams, valves, and pistons in perfect harmony. 370 horsepower, 0 to 100 in under 7 seconds, a top speed of 280 kilometers per hour, numbers that belonged to race cars. Yet this one wore leather and carpet. The sound was everything. That metallic shriek of 12 cylinders echoing across the Italian countryside, unmistakable, unrepeatable. As heat shimmered from the manifolds and blue flames licked from the exhaust on night tests, Lamborghini's engineers knew they had built something the world had never heard before. The Miura's engineering was imperfect, demanding, and fragile, but it redefined what a road car could be. It wasn't simply fast, it was alive. The Miura didn't just break records, it broke imaginations. Magazine covers, posters, even bedroom walls. It became the face of speed, beauty, and rebellion. In the late 60s, the world was changing fast, and the Miura became the car of that revolution. Movie stars drove it, rock icons owned it. Every photo, every headline whispered the same thing. This is what freedom looks like. When the Italian job opened with that golden Miura slicing through the Alps, audiences forgot the plot. They remembered the car. It wasn't just design, it was identity. The Miura became a mirror of the era, bold, beautiful, a little dangerous. Even as Ferrari refined, Porsche evolved, and McLaren engineered, Lamborghini made people feel. The Miura wasn't built for efficiency, it was built for emotion. Collectors chased it, designers studied it, everyone else dreamed about it. It filled posters, toy shelves, and living rooms. The first car to truly become pop culture. Years later, museums placed it behind velvet ropes, but its legacy lived louder on the street, at car meets, on film, online. Everywhere the idea of speed still matters. The Miura bridged art and engineering, the physical and the emotional. It taught the world that a supercar could be both sculpture and weapon. It didn't whisper performance, it shouted it. And when you hear one start, decades later, you still feel it. That pulse, that fire. The car that defined Lamborghini. And every supercar that followed. The Miura didn't just end an era, it created one. But the story doesn't end here. Because what came next made the Miura look tame. Sharper angles, wilder doors, louder roars. Next time on Entire History of Lamborghini, the legend evolves with the Countach.